Oz Players present Showcasing the Stars, featuring the cast, crew, and pit of the 2020 production, Phantom of the Opera.
Welcome everyone to episode 8 of Showcasing the Stars, Putting It Together. As you can see, I am here today in the black box. I have been asked back to start cleaning up and preparing for the end of the year. It's definitely bittersweet. There is a ton of costumes, props, all sorts of things that were just left mid rehearsal. So it's going to be a lot of work. I'm going to get the custodians involved, but we need to get ready for next year. So I'll be filming my videos for this week's episode here, and hopefully it'll help you reminisce a little bit, but also look to the future. So without further ado, let's meet our guests for this week.
Hi, my name is Capurso. I'm in run crew for the show Phantom of the Opera, and I love the Lost Players because they always give me something to look forward to.
Hello, my name is Myranda, Keane, and I'm on props crew for Phantom of the Opera. I love being a WAS player because I really enjoy working on the shows, and I've met a lot of new people through the program, and I just really feel like I belong here.
Hi, I'm Nolan, Glauner, and I play auctioneer /fop/chauffeur in Phantom of the Opera. And I love being part of the WAS Players because it has a really great sense of community, and it's performing just a lot of fun.
Next, the guests will answer questions on how a show gets put together and all of the little bits and pieces that come together to make a show into a production.
An element that I think is extremely important that comes together before showtime is how we move as a cohesive unit. There are so many things going on backstage and in between scene changes. If you're in somebody's way, it's going to slow down the show. If a run crew member can't get a unit on, it'll slow down. If an actor is not in the right spot at the right time, it can mess everything up and it would just end in disaster.
A lot of different elements have to come together for a show to be successful, and that includes the acting, props, set, costumes, sound, the lighting, everything else. And everyone both on stage and backstage needs to combine their efforts for a show to come together.
There are a lot of elements in a show that must come together for it to be successful. A lot of these elements are the cast and the crew, obviously, also the set, the music, the lighting, very obviously. And there's also a lot of rehearsal that has to go into it, especially thanks to directing. Without a director, obviously, we wouldn't have a show. And also choreography, that's a big part of the show. So as you can see, there's a lot of big elements that need to come together and work together successfully for a show to be successful.
Has there ever been a time that I thought, hey, this show isn't going to come together? Yes, but because I'm a worried person, not because we weren't ready. If something went wrong during a dress rehearsal, it would freak me out and it would cause me to think, oh no, this is going to happen during the real show. The cool thing about the Lost Players, somehow what we mess up during dress rehearsals, we fix during the live show, which works out really good for us, honestly. And in regard to Phantom, even though we couldn't put on the show, where we left off, I don't think we were ready to put on the show, but we were on the road to get there, and it would have been a fantastic show.
In the 2 productions I've been involved in, I haven't been worried that either one wouldn't come together. Most of the time, everyone did what they were supposed to be doing and continuously worked to improve the show. In relation to Phantom, I do think we were ready and prepared when we left. Everyone worked very hard, and I really wish we could have put on the show.
There have been a lot of times where I've been worried if the show would come together or not. Thinking back on it, I really think at those times for the shows, I think we were really well and prepared. But in the moment, I felt like there was just not enough rehearsal time, and I was just really stressed out. I was also stressed out for myself and other cast members, like, oh, are they going to do the right thing? Am I going to do the right thing? But there was a lot of worry, but in the end, it all worked out nice and well. I would say for most shows, I have a worry like that, but I think that just might be jitters.
For Phantom of the Opera, I was part of run crew, and some of my responsibilities for run crew, whenever there was a scene change or a blackout, my responsibilities were to move set pieces or props or units on and off stage depending on the scene. I think run crew is significantly important to the show. Without run crew, the actors would have to move all the set pieces, all the units, and all the props on their own, and it would slow down the show drastically. So having run crew really speeds up the show and makes it more cohesive to watch.
I and the other members of Props Crew are responsible for everything that has to do with props. We find or sometimes make props that are needed for the show, fix broken props, and make sure all the props are where they're supposed to be. Our role helps to make the show successful because it wouldn't work if people had the wrong props or no props at all.
I believe that everyone, no matter what part they play in the show, whatever they're doing on crew, they all have a really big part in the show, and it all comes together. Like, without an ensemble, we wouldn't have all these different array of characters, and it wouldn't look real. Without the crew, we obviously wouldn't have the scene changes, the set. There's a lot of stuff that needs to come together. For Phantom, let's say, my personal role was to be those characters and provide as an ensemble member as well, just so I could provide to the atmosphere of the show and make an entertaining space for the audience, I think.
And now our special guest this week, Mr. Gardner, has a message he would like to give everyone from the cast, crew, and pit of Phantom of the Opera.
Hi, my name is Dane Gardner, and I run the set construction for the WAS players. I've been doing it for 3 years now. Well, Phantom would have been the completion of my 3rd year, so 2 and change, rounded up to 3.
My favorite part of working with the WAS players is the positivity that the group has, the sense of community. You all come together. There have been ups and downs the past few years that we all know about, and everybody's just gathered and supported each other. And obviously the artistic ability. When I walk in and see, different groups practicing different things, it blows my mind. I was never able to do that as a student, and when you guys do it, it's awe-inspiring. It really is cool. The first time that you guys walked on the big boy step piece from Footloose without falling to your doom brought a tear of joy to my eyes. I felt really happy. You guys looked great up there, and I just want you to know, even though Phantom didn't get off the ground, there's community theater and college theater and all that with way cooler set pieces that you can all go on and do great things and walk across them and make their set construction guys proud as well. All right, I'd like to give a special thanks to Mrs. Hoffman. I bother her a lot. And anytime that I pop my head into her room and I say, "Can I borrow you for a sec?" She always drops what she's doing and comes to the stage and answers my questions. And thank you very much, Allison. It's great working with you. I look forward to working with you in the future.
To close this week's episode, I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of all of the episodes, anyone who has helped out. Thank you to the contributions of anyone who donated for our show, Phantom of the Opera. The next episode will be our last episode. I'll be combining the last 2 episodes. I know I promised 10, but with graduation coming up and people moving on for the summer, I think it's only fitting that we end our season of Showcasing with the Stars and go out with a bang, like the WAS players always do. So please make sure you contact me if you want to get involved in that last episode, and we will see you next week, Saturday at 7 p.m. for the final episode of Showcasing the Stars. Good night, everybody.